Hi dancers, welcome to SKR Yoga and Wellness. My name is Sam, and today we're focusing on a peak pose. So the pose that we're going to try and achieve in today's class is Koundinyasana A variation. So this is an arm balancing posture that is slightly more advanced, and it comes out of side crane. Now before we get going and rolling with this class, I do also have a tutorial for this specific pose on my channel. So if this is the first time you've ever heard of or ever attempting this posture, I would suggest watching that video first just to get a more in-depth breakdown of the pose before coming to this class. So this is a full class, and we're going to focus on building the body up so that we're ready to achieve that Koundinyasana side variation of this arm balance. So we're going to strengthen the wrists and the arms as well as our core. We're also going to focus on a lot of twists in this class to get our spine nice and ready for that balance. So lots of really good stuff, and we're just going to go right ahead and get started. Since this is an arm balancing posture we're focusing on, we're going to warm up the wrist right off the bat and just get started there. So you're going to make your hands into two fists. Extend your arms all the way out in front of you, and then you're going to make two circles rolling in towards the center of your body. And we're going to make about 20 circles here. Try to keep this nice strong fist as we do this, and keeping your arms extended out in front of you. And let's switch it, going the other direction now. You might feel your wrists start to burn, which is a good thing. Starting to build some strength. And let's say we'll do another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now leaving your arms extended, you're going to flex the palms all the way up in front of you, and then bending the wrists all the way down so your palms are facing you. And then again, just like that, lifting them up. You might feel the muscles in your forearms start to burn a little bit. Lifting all the way up and extending all the way down. And I've lost count, but we'll say we'll do 2 more. So 1 more after this one here. And all the way down. And now you're going to flip your hands so that your fingers are facing in. And then we open up the palms just like we did before, but now just facing a bit of a different direction. Kind of like you're opening 2 doors. And we'll do 2 more from here, keeping those elbows nice and extended. Try to keep your shoulders down your back as well as we do this, so your neck is still nice and long. And last one, release, shake those out. We're going to come into some wrist stretches as well. So taking your hands, and you're going to place your palms on the floor with your fingers facing towards you. And then once you've got your hands placed, you're going to very gently rock your weight back and try to keep your palms in contact with the floor. You might want to bend into your elbows slightly, and keep in mind that you may feel totally different from one wrist onto the other, depending on which hand is your dominant hand, and you might not need to move very far at all in order to feel a stretch here. It doesn't take much in this position here to feel that intense stretch through the forearms. So subtle movements. And we'll take the weight farther back, this time lifting the palms all the way off the floor, so stretching a little bit more into the hands. So your knuckles are still in contact with the floor, fingers are still in contact, but your palms are lifted. Bending through the elbows this time. And we'll let that go. 1 more, stretch through the wrists. This time your palms face up, fingers still towards you. And then, just like we did before, very gently sending the weight backwards. And again, this will be subtle, it won't be a huge movement as you shift your weight. Coming in to stretch the top part of your wrists now. And we'll do the same thing as before, lifting the back of your hands so your knuckles are still in contact with the floor, bending through the elbows. And release. Give those hands a nice good shake. We're going to interlace the fingers, just roll through the wrists. Try to keep your palms together, and we'll switch going the other way, which always feels strange, but good for your brain. And Releasing that out. We're gonna start warming up the core, coming onto all fours. So feeling your hands right under your shoulders, knees, right underneath your hips, and right away feel your neutral spine, so crown of your head reaching towards the top of your mat, tailbone in the opposite direction, and your belly button pulling in towards your spine. Our wrists are nice and warm, so we're gonna jump right in with some bird dogs. So extending your right arm and your left leg out, lifting them up. Try and keep your back leg parallel as it lifts, thumb pointing towards the ceiling, core is engaged, and then we're gonna softly place both of those limbs back onto the mat, and then we reverse other side. Left arm and right leg, extending all the way up, keep that core nice and engaged, reaching through that back heel, and place your hand and leg back down as we switch, other side. Keep the core nice and strong, don't let the back arch, especially in the low back as we lift our arm and leg up off the mat. And try to inhale as we lift the arm and leg, and exhale to place them back down. We're gonna go twice more both sides. Right arm, left leg, and back down onto the mat. Left arm, right leg, and back onto the mat. One last time. Keeping that spine long. Floating it back down. Last time. And exhale, releasing down onto the mat. You're gonna extend through that right leg out behind you, and then take your heel, cross it over your body so it's towards the left, and then bring your eyes over to look at your foot. And you should right away feel a bit of a stretch through the right side of your body, and you wanna feel your left side kind of pinching and compressing here. So stretching in through the side body, feeling this little bit of a twist. And we'll bring that leg back to center right away, going to the other side, extending your left leg out, crossing it over, and this time looking towards the right, towards that foot. Feeling that nice stretch through your side body. Keeping your toes in contact with the floor. And release that leg back down onto the mat. We're gonna come all the way up to stand on your knees here. And then extend your right leg out beside you, sole of your foot flat against the floor. So you're kind of reaching through that ankle, sickling the foot a little bit. And then you're going to inhale your left arm all the way up beside your ear. And on an exhale, curve towards the right, stretching towards that leg. And again, we're stretching into the side body, this time in more of an upright position, in gate pose here. And again, feeling that expansion and that release through the side body. Make sure your shoulder blades are still sliding down your back. You can use your right hand resting on your calf, just to give you a little bit of extra support and balance here. Make sure you're right on top of that left knee. And we'll inhale all the way back up. And we're gonna go right away to the other side. So extending that left leg this time. Plant the sole of your foot flat on the floor. Inhale your right arm up. And then exhale into that fold. Feeling long through the side body. Feel your belly button still pulling in towards your spine. Try to breathe into this stretch. And on your next inhale, coming all the way back up. Bring both knees onto the floor, tuck your toes, send your arms out, and we're lifting right away up into down dog. So allow your heels to relax in, down towards the mat. Your spine is nice and long, shoulder blades are plugging down your back, away from your ears. Core is strong. And from this down dog, you're going to lift your right leg all the way up to the ceiling, and then swing it forward, place it in between the palms. And we're lifting all the way up to warrior one. So place your back heel down at a 45-degree angle, feeling that bend through the front knee, right over top of your toes. Arms are reaching up overhead, right beside your ears. Core is strong. And now from here, we're going to transition to warrior two. So you're flipping your back foot to be parallel to the short edge of your mat. Arms reaching out to the sides. Again, feeling strong through that front knee. And continuing to reach energy out through your back leg. Now we're going to reverse this warrior. So on an exhale, placing your left arm down, reach that right arm all the way up, finding that stretch. Breathing once again into the side body. And on an inhale, coming all the way back up to warrior two, transitioning to runner's lunge, so lifting your back heel, bringing your arms all the way back up overhead, and then let the back knee gently fall down onto the mat. Bring your hands together in prayer position in front of your heart. And then on an exhale, we're going to twist towards the right leg, hook that left elbow on the outside of your right leg, and then push your body into a bit of a twist. So your eyes are now looking towards the back corner behind you. Try as best as you can to bring the palms of your hands towards the center of your chest. That's our intention here. Keep your belly button pulling in towards your spine here. So our core is still engaged. We're not dumping all of our weight into the bottom of this lunge. Continuing to breathe through the stretch. Really feel the twist coming from your belly button. And on your next inhale, we'll come back to center. Place the palms down onto the mat. Tuck your back toes and send that right foot back to plank. We will exhale down to chaturanga. Inhale, pushing to upward dog. And then exhale, taking the hips back, downward dog. Once again, settling here. Feeling the heels reaching towards the mat. And we're gonna go right away to the left side, inhaling to lift that left leg all the way up. And exhale, swinging it forward, place it between the palms. Spin the back heel 45 degrees, finding warrior one. So in this pose, keep your shoulders square, right on top of your hips. So we're not twisted with the upper body in this position, even though the back heel is down. And we're going to transition through to warrior two. So taking that back heel parallel to the short edge of your mat. Feeling long through the arms, reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Core is engaged as always. And on your next exhale, we're going to reverse this warrior, dropping your right arm, lifting your left up and over, stretching into that side body. Breathing into your stretch. Still feeling long and low through your lunge. Keep bending through that front knee. And on your next inhale, coming back to warrior two and then transitioning through right away to runner's lunge. So now lifting that back heel, square to the front once more as we softly drop that back knee. You can untuck the toes, bringing the hands together in front of the heart. And then on an exhale, twisting, hook that elbow on the outside of your knee and trying to bring your hands towards the center of your chest as best as you can. Keeping the core engaged, feeling that twist coming from your navel. Eyes reaching behind you, completing the twist. Still feeling grounded through the legs, through the sole of your left foot. Breathing into it. Taking one more deep breath. And we'll exhale, unwind, placing the hands back down onto the mat, tuck your back toes, coming back to plank. Exhale, down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Tuck the toes, exhale, downward facing dog. And just take a second to reconnect with your breathing. Feeling nice and long through the legs and the spine. All right, and now we're going to fire up our core. So coming forward into your plank pose. We're gonna hold here for about 30 seconds. So taking 5 really deep breaths. Feel your core engaged, your belly button pulling towards your spine. Feel yourself pushing the floor away from you so your shoulder blades are wrapping around your back. Feel your glutes slightly engaged to hold you in a straight line here from your heels all the way to your toes. Nice and strong. Taking 2 more breaths. And from here, let your heels drop to the right, lifting your left arm all the way up into side plank. And now we're gonna come into some, you could say a port-de-bras through the arms. You're going to come back to plank, reaching that arm, crossing over the body, and then inhaling it back up over top. Twice more. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back up. Exhale to twist. Inhale, back up. Transition through the center, letting your heels fall to the left. Side plank to the left. Feel that shoulder blade pushing away from the floor. And we're gonna exhale, twist, inhale, all the way back up. Exhale to twist, inhale, back up. Exhale, and inhale. And coming back to center, dropping your forearms onto the mat. And then from here, lifting, walking your feet towards your elbows. Make sure your elbows are not splaying wider than your shoulders. Palms flat against the mat. Keeping your core nice and strong here. Shoulders pushing away from your ears. Now, on your next inhale, we're going to send the hips forward ever so slightly and then push into the floor to push back to dolphin pose. Inhale again, forward. Exhale to push. Twice more. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Walk your hands back out to forearm plank. Lift your right hand back up, left hand back up, and chaturanga all the way down. Release onto the mat. Lift up and send your hips back, finding a wide-legged child's pose. Release your forehead onto the mat. Take a second to catch your breath. I know I need it. Let your heart rate return back to normal after that long plank sequence. And just allow your body a moment to relax and recalibrate. And slowly walk your hands back in, lift your head. And coming to all fours, you're just going to step your right foot in between your palms, lift your back leg into a lunge, and then come on up and straighten and twist yourself to face the long edge of your mat here. You can walk your feet in slightly so we're not quite so wide. And then from this position, you're going to turn your right foot out. So it's now parallel to the long edge of your mat. Keep your hips nice and square so we're not yet sinking into the hips. Nice and square, arms, palms shining forward, reaching out beside you. And then from here, let your hips tilt towards the left. Let your body tip forward and then rest this hand on the side of your shin as you reach your top arm all the way up towards the sky. You can also place your hand flat on your shin as I am here. Just make sure you're not resting any weight on it. You really want the side of your body here to be doing all of the work to hold you up. If it feels okay for your neck, you can bring your gaze towards the sky as I am here, or you can keep the eyes forward, whatever feels most comfortable. And on your next inhale, lift yourself back up to center. Flip your right heel so that now you are, once again, both toes shining forward. Hands on the hips, inhale to find a nice long spine. Exhale, tilt from the hips, falling all the way forward in between the legs, and allow your spine to curve. So shake out your neck. Shake it out, saying yes and no. Allowing your neck to relax. Arms to relax. Just stretching into those hamstrings a little bit. We're going to place the right palm down on the floor underneath you, and then finding a twist, reaching the left arm all the way up towards the sky. As we do this, make sure you're not twisting through the hips. Keep your hips totally square, and you really want to feel the twist coming from the center of your torso, from your navel. And exhale back to center. Replace your palms, left palm down, right arm up. Once again, trying not to twist and sit in your hips. Reaching long through that top arm. Feeling the twist through your spine. And on your next exhale, release both hands down. Let's take a plie through the legs and then very slowly rolling up. Head and shoulders are the last thing to recover. And we're going to do triangle pose on the second side. So opening up through that left foot now, and then palms shining forward, arms out. Send the hips back, tilting forward, resting that left hand on top of your left shin. Really feel that your hips are right underneath you and we're not leaning forward at all. Maybe lifting your eyes skyward if it feels okay for your neck. Also be sure, dancers, that we're keeping a slight micro bend on that front knee, so we're not locking into any kind of hyperextension here. Something I always have to remind myself on this leg, as for me it is more hyperextended than my other leg, which can sometimes be tricky to handle. And on your next inhale, bring yourself back up to stand, hands on your hips and twisting both of your toes to shine forward. And now we're actually just going to come all the way back down onto the mat here. And we're jumping right into our peak pose, which is our Koundinyasana A variation. So how we're going to do this is I'm going to first go through side crane on both sides, just to get a feel for that balance, get a feel for that twist through the body and finding that motion. And then I'm going to progress to Koundinyasana on both sides. So if you would like to just jump right in to the posture, feel free, go right ahead if you've already practiced it previously. Otherwise, feel free to follow me and move through side crane first. So tucking your toes underneath you, lifting your knees up off the mat. Just a reminder once again that there is a more in-depth tutorial video on my channel as well, so be sure to check that out. Otherwise, we are just going to jump right in. So taking your arms over to the right side, hooking that elbow to the outside of your right knee, planting your palms down, really hook your hip onto that second elbow as we transfer forward, finding your side crane position. And on your own time, coming on out of it. Recentering yourself, going over to the other side. So twisting towards the left, hooking your elbows, the outside of your knee and onto your hip. Plant those palms and transferring through. Doing what you need here. If you need to grab some blocks to help with balance, feel free to do that. Ooh. Coming on out of it at your own time. And I'm going to go ahead and progress into the full extension, the full arm balance variation. So twisting towards the right, hooking your elbows where they need to be hooked. And be sure after you come out of it to come back to that side crane position to very softly place your feet back down onto the mat. This is a posture I really can't talk through. I have to focus very much on my balance. So I'm going to go ahead now onto the other side if you are still following me. So planting the palms, hooking the elbows. That is a side I find much trickier for whatever reason. Perhaps you have a similar experience where one side is a little bit more, is a different experience than the other side. One thing that I will note for myself is that I need to remind myself to breathe a little bit more in that posture, which is perhaps why I find it difficult to talk while I'm holding that arm balance. Something you can think of as well at home. Just check in, make sure that you are maintaining your breath throughout and you're not holding your breath. It's very common in any arm balance posture, something I am working on as well, to hold on to the breath. You want to keep it flowing because that's actually going to help your muscles calibrate. It's going to help your nervous system to figure out where you are and to find that balance. So that is our peak pose. We're going to do a couple more poses to cool down. So whenever you are ready, lowering all the way down onto your back. And you're gonna right away hug your right knee into your chest. Maybe rolling through that ankle in both directions. And on an exhale, take that knee and cross it all the way over the body. And then extending your right arm out beside you. So just coming into a very easy spinal twist here, not really engaging any muscles. Just make sure that both shoulder blades are planted into the floor. Breathing into the twist. Just allowing the weight of your leg to carry you over. And on your next inhale, firm up the belly to come back to center. And right away we're going to switch legs, left leg in. Right leg is extended, and on your next exhale, reaching it across the body, finding your twist. This twist should feel nice and juicy after that practice and that peak pose. Feel deep breaths into your belly. And on your next inhale, firm up the core to bring your knee back to center. And you're going to bring your right knee in to meet your left. Bring your elbows on the inside of your legs, grabbing the outside of your feet. And you guessed it, we're coming to happy baby. So flexing through those feet, lifting them up towards the ceiling. Bending through your knees, pulling your feet down. And feel free to rock side to side, just like a happy baby. Taking a couple more breaths here. I am going to progress into a shoulder stand. Feel free to do any kind of inversion here that feels best for you, whether that's maybe legs up the wall or putting a block underneath your hips, coming into bridge pose, anything that works for you. I'm going to go ahead and lift my hips up, finding this shoulder stand, trying to release my upper back after that intense balance. And feel free to stay here or transition into plow, whatever you need. And very, very slowly rolling yourself back down onto the floor, coming into Shavasana. So extending your legs out, extending your arms out to the side, allowing your spine to find its natural curve across the floor. Continue to send your breath deep into your belly. We'll be here for about 10 breaths or so get comfortable. Try not to engage any muscles. Relax and melt the tension off your body. And just breathe. Onto the right side of your body, coming up to a seated position, nice and slow. Getting yourself to a comfortable position as we bring the hands together in front of the heart and bending forward. Namaste. Thank you so much, dancers, for doing this practice with me. I hope you found some progress in that peak pose in Koundinyasana A variation, and please leave me a comment below and let me know how it went for you and what you discovered along the way. Please also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, to like it, and to also subscribe to SKR Yoga and Wellness. I release new videos every single Friday. So that's it for today. Thanks once again, and I'll see you on the mat again soon.